Well, let's go live now to William Tong, the Attorney General for the state of Connecticut and one of the co-plaintiffs in this lawsuit. William Tong, thanks for joining us on BBC News. The merger of these two companies was approved 14 years ago. What has changed in the intervening period that has now resulted in you and others taking this lawsuit?
Well, what we feared would happen has happened, and Ticketmaster Live Nation has become a dominant behemoth that controls 80% of primary ticketing for major concert venues. They manage 400 artists. They control 265 plus major venues in this country. They just grew and grew and grew, and they gobbled up their competitors. And now everybody knows they're a monopoly, which is why Connecticut and 28 other states and the District of Columbia, including Democrats and Republicans, have joined the Department of Justice today.
Live Nation says that its artists are responsible for setting the ticket prices and that it can't force artists to charge lower prices or ban them from dynamic pricing, especially as for many now, concerts are a main revenue source for artists. So you're shaking your head there.
Yeah, these defenses hold no water. Look, Live Nation and Ticketmaster control the entire stack, the entire transaction life cycle from the fan all the way down to the venue. So if they're going to blame artists, for example, well, they promote the artists. They control that part of the market. They represent the artists. If they're going to blame venues, they own and control the venues. They own 60 out of 100 of the major amphitheaters in this country. If they're going to blame ticketing, well, they control the ticketing infrastructure, and they're the ones who lard on the cost of fees like ticketing fees, processing fees. You know, they lard on many different fees along the way that change the price of a ticket from, let's say, $90 or $100 to $125 or $150. Ticketmaster is responsible for all of these costs because it's a monopoly.
What they're not responsible for, though, is ticket scalping or people who are prepared to go on these kind of reselling websites and pay whatever money they have, whatever they're prepared to pay to go to these concerts. So, I mean, how does the lawsuit address that, or is there a need for legislative changes alongside it?
Well, that's just misdirection. That's Ticketmaster and Live Nation trying to point the finger somewhere else, and it's somebody else. We're not talking about the secondary market. We're talking about the primary market, and we're talking about Ticketmaster and Live Nation's absolute dominance in the space. By the way, Katrina, it would interest you and your audience to know that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are now moving into the secondary market. So they're not content controlling the primary market. Now they're offering their own secondary market or ticket scalping product to pick up on tickets that have been sold after they were released by Ticketmaster.
So as a relief, at a bare minimum, you're looking for Ticketmaster to be split out from Live Nation as a minimum. You are looking for the whole business to be split up ultimately. But separating Ticketmaster out, what would that achieve for concert goers, for the people looking for a better value ticket?
So competition, you know, it would reintroduce competition. We live in this fishbowl that's completely dominated by Live Nation and Ticketmaster, and they control the entire ecosystem in this fishbowl. And so if we decouple ownership and management of venues and the management and promoting of artists from the ticketing, then they can't use all of the various levers to hold people in this fishbowl. So for example, right, if you're an artist and you want to play big venues, well, you've got to play by Ticketmaster's rules because they control the venues. And if you want to play the venues and you're managed by Ticketmaster or Live Nation, you've got to use Ticketmaster's ticketing technology. And so basically, they hold us all in this fishbowl. We're captive in what is known in antitrust terms as a competitive moat. They build this moat around us, and we can't get out. We have no choice.
Well, this lawsuit will be closely watched right across the US and indeed around the world. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. William Tong, Attorney General from Connecticut, for the state of Connecticut there. Thanks so much for talking to us on BBC News.
Thank you so much.